Have you ever wondered why some people earn a lot of money but still feel stressed all the time, or why someone knows exactly what they should do financially, but keeps making the same money mistakes anyway? Why do intelligent people fall into debt? Why do successful people keep chasing more and more money, even when they already have enough? And why do so many people feel anxious every time they look at their bank account? The answer is surprisingly simple. Most of us were taught how to earn money, some of us were taught how to save money, a few were taught how to invest money, but almost nobody teaches us how to handle the emotions behind money. And those emotions often have more power over our financial lives than math ever will. Today, we're going to talk about the emotional side of money, the hidden force that influences nearly every financial decision you make. Once you understand it, you'll start seeing money in a completely different way, and that change could be worth more than any investment strategy you'll ever learn. When people talk about money, they usually focus on numbers, income, expenses, investments, retirement accounts, interest rates. But money has never been just about numbers. Money is emotional. In fact, every dollar you spend, save, invest, or avoid spending is connected to a feeling: fear, stress, excitement, pride, guilt, security, hope. The problem is that many people think financial success is simply about knowing more, but knowledge alone isn't enough. Most people already know they should save more, they know they shouldn't buy things they can't afford, they know they should avoid unnecessary debt, yet they still struggle. Why? Because emotions often overpower logic, and until you learn how your emotions influence your money decisions, you'll keep fighting battles you don't even realize you're having. Let's start with a simple truth. Most financial problems are not mathematical problems, they're emotional problems. Think about impulse buying. Nobody wakes up and says, "Today I want to hurt my financial future." Yet millions of people spend money impulsively every day, not because they need something, but because they're trying to feel something. Maybe they're bored, maybe they're stressed, maybe they had a bad day, maybe they're feeling lonely. The purchase isn't solving a financial problem, it's trying to solve an emotional one. The same thing happens with lifestyle inflation. You get a raise, your income increases, instead of feeling secure, your spending increases too. Suddenly the bigger house, newer car, and more expensive lifestyle become the new normal. The extra income disappears, and somehow you still feel like you don't have enough. Again, not a math problem, an emotional one. Many people spend their entire lives chasing a feeling they believe money will provide, the feeling of being respected, the feeling of being successful, the feeling of being safe, the feeling of being worthy. But here's the trap, those feelings rarely come from the money itself. Most of our beliefs about money were formed long before we earned our first paycheck, they often come from childhood. Think about the environment you grew up in. Was money constantly discussed? Was it a source of stress? Did your parents argue about it? Did they avoid talking about it completely? Maybe you heard phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford that, rich people are greedy, people like us never get ahead." At the time, these seemed like harmless comments, but over the years, they quietly became beliefs, and beliefs shape behavior. For example, someone who grew up around financial instability may become obsessed with saving every penny, even after becoming financially secure. Another person may spend excessively because deep down they fear missing out, someone else may avoid investing because they associate risk with danger. The point is simple, your relationship with money isn't just about money, it's about your experiences, memories, and emotions. 1. Fear. Fear is one of the strongest financial emotions. Fear can stop people from investing, fear can keep people trapped in jobs they hate, fear can cause people to hold cash forever while inflation slowly erodes its value. Fear whispers, "What if everything goes wrong?" And while caution is healthy, excessive fear can become expensive. Many people lose opportunities not because they made mistakes, but because they were too afraid to act. 2. Greed. Greed convinces people they need more money, more possessions, more status, more success. The problem is that greed has no finish line, no matter how much you have, it keeps moving the goalpost. This is why some wealthy people continue taking massive risks despite already having enough. They're no longer chasing money, they're chasing the feeling that money temporarily provides. 3. Shame. This emotion rarely gets discussed, but it's incredibly powerful. Many people feel ashamed about debt, ashamed about financial mistakes, ashamed because they think they should be further ahead. As a result, they avoid looking at their finances altogether, they ignore statements, avoid budgets, delay difficult conversations. Unfortunately, what we avoid usually gets worse. 4. Comparison. Social media has amplified this emotion dramatically. Every day we're exposed to carefully edited versions of other people's lives, luxury vacations, new houses, expensive cars, business success stories. And without realizing it, we start measuring our lives against theirs. The problem? You're comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel, and that comparison can create endless dissatisfaction, no matter how much progress you make. Imagine two people, Sarah and Michael. Both earn $80,000 per year, same income, same city, similar expenses. 10 years later, Sarah has built investments, emergency savings, and financial freedom. Michael lives paycheck to paycheck. How is that possible? The difference isn't intelligence, it's emotional behavior. Sarah views money as a tool, Michael views money as proof of success. Sarah saves first, Michael spends first. Sarah focuses on long-term goals, Michael focuses on short-term feelings. Over thousands of small decisions, their emotional relationship with money creates completely different outcomes. This is why personal finance is often more personal than finance. So how do we fix this? Not by becoming emotionless, that's impossible. Instead, we learn to recognize emotions before they control our decisions. Here are 5 practical strategies. 1. Pause before major purchases. Create distance between emotion and action. Whenever you want to buy something expensive, wait 24 hours, 48 hours, even 72 hours. You'll be surprised how many purchases lose their appeal once emotions cool down. 2. Identify your money triggers. Ask yourself, what situations make me spend impulsively? Stress. Boredom. Social pressure. Once you identify the trigger, you gain power over it. 3. Define what enough means. One of the most important financial questions is, how much is enough? Without an answer, you'll spend your life chasing a moving target. Enough doesn't mean giving up ambition, it means knowing when additional money stops adding meaningful happiness. 4. Stop measuring your life against others. Someone will always have more, a bigger house, a newer car, a higher income. If comparison becomes your standard, satisfaction becomes impossible. Instead, compare yourself to who you were last year, that's the comparison that matters. 5. Connect money to values. Money is most powerful when it supports what truly matters to you: family, freedom, health, experiences, personal growth. When your spending aligns with your values, money becomes a source of fulfillment rather than stress. At the end of life, very few people wish they had spent more time worrying about money. What they usually want is peace, freedom, meaningful relationships, time. Money can help create those things, but only if it's used intentionally. The biggest financial victory isn't becoming rich, it's reaching a point where money no longer controls your emotions, where you can make decisions calmly, where you feel secure without constantly needing more, where your self-worth isn't tied to your bank account. That's real wealth, and it's available to far more people than most realize. The emotional side of money is rarely taught, yet it shapes almost every financial decision we make. The truth is that financial success isn't just about earning more, it's about understanding yourself, your fears, your habits, your beliefs, your relationship with money. Because once you understand the emotional forces driving your decisions, you stop reacting and start choosing, and that's when real change begins. Money is a tool, not an identity, not a measure of your worth, not proof of your success as a human being. The sooner you understand that, the healthier your financial life becomes, and the more freedom you'll experience along the way. If you found this video helpful, take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe for more content on psychology, money, and building a healthier relationship with wealth. And here's a question for you: what emotion affects your financial decisions the most? Fear, comparison, stress, or something else? Share your answer in the comments below. You might be surprised how many people feel exactly the same way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.